And the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester United.
Sandy Turnbull scored the historic first goal at the stadium, but the visitors spoiled the party, winning 4-3. It was over 18 months before United lost another game at their famous home. October 1910, the first moving pictures of football at Old Trafford. Pictures never before broadcast. This was United in their second championship season at home to Newcastle.
There you go. So 1910 is when it opened. And then it all started from there, wasn't it? So we got a copy of the original programme. So I'll put a picture up of that. So this was issued on the 100th anniversary of the opening of the stadium. And we played Liverpool in the first game. So, and I think there's some pictures. I'll put some pictures up of that first game as well. And we lost. We lost to Liverpool. I think it was 4-3.
Calm now.
All right, mates. I like to count down very custom easy. So, but yeah, it was that was the start of Old Trafford.
October 1910, the first moving pictures of football at Old Trafford. Pictures never before broadcast. This was United in their second championship season at home to Newcastle. It was the climax of the Magnol era, and it was to be the club's last title for more than 40 years. These are unique images of a bygone era of sharp hats and droopy moustaches, referees in lounge suits, players in button vests and knee-length shorts and hobnail boots. A mystical football world that had to be seen to be believed.
One of my great thrills was leaving the ground in a massive crowd as a youngster and going over the railway bridge to the tram car, quite a distance, lifting my feet up off the ground and being carried along by the crowd. I thought it was wonderful. I quite looked forward to that at the end of the match.
United were champions and FA Cup winners before that, and we won the league once again at Old Trafford. But then it went whoosh, just took a massive dive. Then we went really poor. So, yeah. But in terms of, I showed you that picture, didn't I? The United produced something a few years ago, where, I don't know if you'll see it, it sort of starts at the original Old Trafford and it sort of morphs into the current Old Trafford. So I'll put that picture up. So I think that's brilliant.
It is.
I think that's really good, really clever. So how they did that, and I'll put pictures up of Old Trafford in different years as well, because you had that's the original, and you can't see that doesn't say Old Trafford, does it?
No.
And that's the original. That's the original Old Trafford. Obviously I'll put that up so you can see that properly. There's only one stand, so, and the rest of it's standing, and that's a game, that is, as well. And look at all the space. There's not many fans there, is there?
No.
At all. But yeah, there's nothing around it, is there? See the bridge. There's a bridge there. That's where we used to park.
Right.
Around that bridge a bit there.
Well, amazing.
Yeah. How that developed. So not a lot happened to Old Trafford up until the Second World War. All they did was put a roof on this bit here. On the other side, they called it the popular side, which is Sir Alex Ferguson's stand now. It's called the popular side, and they put a roof on there. Second World War, got bombed, completely destroyed. Because I didn't realise that Trafford Park was the biggest industrial estate in Europe at the time. Incredible, really, isn't it? I think they obviously the Blitz in London and Liverpool, and then they did Manchester. So just horrific. Many people died, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in a place where it's being bombed. Unbelievable. But I think they made the Rolls-Royce engines for the Spitfire in that area, and some of the weapons, and Ford had a factory, and there's loads of people there. That was it. So
It was a definite target then, wasn't it?
yeah, big time. But apparently as well, they used to store stuff in Old Trafford as well. So it wasn't a mistake. I don't think that they got. I thought it was. It was just like a, a blanket bombing. But apparently, things used to be stored. They used it as a bit of a store as well inside the building. Don't know if how true that is or not. I don't know. But yeah. So that was it. So yeah, football, Old Trafford, and then there's photographs of like trees growing up through the terraces and all sorts. Horrific, isn't it?
Mm.
And they thought United wouldn't be able to carry on because of that. And that's when they started playing the games at City after the war. Had to pay them a fortune to hire the ground. So, and then fans used to watch both teams. So when the other team was away, obviously they watched the other side.
Right.
So you had split. Imagine doing that now.
It wouldn't happen, would it?
No, do that now.
Although I would.
Well, you would. Yeah, you'd watch Liverpool one week and then City the next one, and then Arsenal.
Anything to watch good football, my blood is always red. They can't take that away from me.
Can't take that away from you.
That's a record,
That
though.
is a record, but don't get him started. Once he gets
Don't
a lyric,
get me started.
once he
That's
gets
another
a
record.
lyric in his head, that's it. Yes. Right, this painting is fantastic. This is. So I think this one must have been about early 50s. This picture. So because there's no floodlights. So early days of the Busby Babes, but you can see all the industry around it. You know, when we looked at it as well, all that industry that's there, and the canal is going down that way, and none of this is here now. The buildings. So in terms of that, I think the only one building is that one, and that's been turned into some sort of, I don't know what it is. I think United use it sometimes as you can go in there and like the catering stuff and that as well. I think it was a nightclub or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, none of these chimneys or anything like that. None of that's here now anymore. So yeah.
You just telling me or telling them?
I'm telling everybody, but the picture will be up. You see, so
Oh,
when I'm
right.
talking,
Yeah.
it will be about the picture.
Okay.
They won't see us. They'll just see the picture.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that picture. And then the floodlights. I got the floodlights. I think 56. I think something like that, around that sort of time. I think it was. There's a little snippet that I'll put up about Bob Charlton saying about he just started playing and everything there, and he'd gone down the ground and there was a coach there, and the people had just come down to see how the floodlights were getting on. It was in the summertime. So he talks about that.
The first match under lights was a 2-0 defeat against Bolton.
I remember coming down to the ground once in the summer to get my wages. It was empty. There was no game on, you know. And the bus came up, and about 20 people got out of this bus. And they said, "Hey, yeah, Bobby Charlton." And I said, "What are you doing here? You know, there's no game on." And they said, "We couldn't stay away anymore. We had to come down and see how the floodlights were going on."
Mum worked here at the time. She and mine ran the laundry. And my mum came home one particular day. She said, "Oh, you'll never guess, we're going to try the new lights out tonight." "Oh, right." I said, so me and I get all my mates from the street. We're all going to Old Trafford. And we all came down. Didn't go inside, of course. It was all locked up. But we stood on what is by the Canal Bridge just for this moment when the lights got switched on. And a little cheer went up outside the ground, and man inside, just to see lights going on.
They dimmed them at half-time so they wouldn't use as much electricity. As soon as at half-time in a football ground in those days, it was like Blackpool illuminations because everybody lit up. So you had all these red spots, like red stars, everywhere.
And we used to park, if we could get down, if we got there at the right time, because the police used to close the road off, didn't they? Was it 2 hours or an hour and a half for kick-off?
Yeah.
The Summit Busby Way. So then we had to go round to gain access over the bridge. Pretty much where Hotel Football is now. So, and then when you've got the sort of northeast quadrant where that's built, what that was built on was rough ground, which used to be like a coal merchants there that they used to use for the canal barges. So So then United turned it into like a car park for the games, didn't they? And we used to go in there, and they used to let us park on the side, didn't they?
They did.
Give them a few quid, didn't you, for the tea money?
Just and
yeah.
The guy at the gate, a couple of quid,
I know,
and we park on a little rough ground on the side,
He'd let
wouldn't
us
we?
nip in the park. 'Cause everyone else had tickets, didn't they, for it
Yeah.
normally, didn't they? So we parked in the main car park a couple of times, but we couldn't. It was a bit expensive, weren't it? And couldn't get tickets sometimes.
Yeah.
So we thought, yeah. So you talk about corruption with Manchester City. There was corruption at United in the car park attendant.
It was a little sideline, wasn't
But
it?
you added to it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, if it weren't for people like you paying them, corruption wouldn't happen, would it?
You can't blame me.
No. So, but yeah. So I remember going in there, parking there, walking on the concourse. There's some other pictures as well that what the concourse used to look like. I know we've done it before, haven't we, with the souvenir shop and everything. But when you look, you can see the road that went down the side of the Woodham United Road, the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, where that road is. Because obviously you can't, it's not there now because obviously the stadium's been built right across. But it's just funny. Now you can know what it was before. Just a complete road all the way around it.
Meanwhile, in preparation for the 1966 World Cup, Old Trafford underwent a major redevelopment. The United Road stand, now known as the North Stand, of course, was rebuilt with a modern cantilever roof.
And if you got a ticket for the cantilever stand, that was all that mattered, because you knew that with no pillars or posts obstructing your view of key parts of the pitch, it was done quite deliberately in a uniform style to create the bowl that we have and have had since, for 50 years.
But what made the new cantilever stand really cutting edge was the inclusion of private boxes, the first at a British football stadium.
There was a pal of mine, Paddy McGrath. Paddy got the first box at Old Trafford, right on the halfway line. He was very pally with Matt, and he paid for the season exactly 400 quid. That was the price of the box for the season. Those boxes now, God almighty, must be 40 or 50 grand.
The private boxes were Matt Busby's idea. He'd been in America, and he'd seen things in American stadia that he thought had to be here.
They persuaded the directors to clamber to the back of the terraces that are being constructed, to sit on a narrow deck and put some kitchen chairs there. So look, gentlemen, this is what a box will be like, and look at the view here. And the directors were so taken and said, okay, we'll have some.
I know the really interesting story is about your dad, about what he did, and then what he was asked to do, with the executive boxes and stuff. How did that start then, with that?
Well, Mr. Haroon, who was, he was also a friend of Mr. Watts's.
Yeah.
And he contacted my dad.
And that's contact,
and he knew that he'd worked.
Yeah.
At
the Hall,
At the Hall.
Yeah. Because Mr. Watts was who your dad worked for.
Yes,
before,
James Watts.
James Watts,
James Watts.
Yeah.
He owned S&J Watts in Manchester.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, so that's a big
textile warehouse.
Yeah, so a wealthy family.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And Mr. Watts's son, James Watts Jr., later became Conservative MP for North Side Manchester.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So he was in Parliament.
Yeah. Wow.
And my mum and dad went when they finished, they sold the hall. He had to go to London because of the Parliament.
Yeah.
And he asked my mum and dad if they would go with him.
Yeah.
And they worked for him in London.
Really? Worked in London,
lived
yeah?
in Belgravia.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they were there until Mr. Watts died.
Yeah.
And then they came back north and they settled in Cheadle-Hulme.
Really? And that's it? Yeah.
And that's when my dad soon after when the boxes were started to be built, we enjoyed it. Met a lot of nice people there, the players, the staff, lots of famous faces.
I think the boxes, because they redid the cantilever stand for the '66 World Cup, if I remember.
Did they?
Yeah, and then I think that's when they started putting the boxes in.
right.
So obviously then that would have been that sort of time.
Yes.
Late 60s
Late
then.
60s.
So he got asked to manage it then, really.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because
yes,
of his
he
experience, what he did from the start of it. Yeah.
He was in charge of all the staff.
It's incredible.
In the boxes, you know, and everything had to be spot on. Yes.
I wonder what he'd think about it now. All the executive stuff that goes on now at the club.
I don't know.
I bet he'd put them in. I bet he would tell them to get.
I don't know
things.
whether anyone is there doing that job now.
No, I don't. They must have different ones because it's so big.
Yes.
About all the different areas they have.
So many boxes.
So many boxes now.
Yeah.
But I bet they did it properly back in the day with your dad, with his training that he had with that service stuff.
Yeah.
So how long do you reckon he did that for then?
Oh, a good few years.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be into the 70s.
Into the 70s, yeah.
4,000 tonnes of steel, 12 months of building, £18.5 million, and most importantly of all, 11,500 new seats, bringing the Old Trafford capacity to 55,300. This is the new North Stand. And so to the topping out ceremony, carried out on the completion of the major construction work. And it's a long way up to level 8. Topping out is a tradition designed to bring good luck to the building, and it was the responsibility of Chairman Martin Edwards to add the finishing touches. The stand is due for completion totally at the end of March. That's a little ahead of schedule. First, a dash of concrete, and then the symbolic golden bolt also inserted to signify the end of the steelwork, a decorative touch for a magnificent structure. Eventually, there'll be a 58-metre steel cantilever roof to make sure everybody's nice and dry. Up here, you get the finest view in Manchester. More importantly, you also get the finest view of Manchester United. It's really a case of supply and demand, the demand for tickets, that is. Now even more people can enjoy watching the Reds, and rest assured, wherever you're sitting, the view from here is simply breathtaking.
And United own loads of the land around that now. So that's why they can contemplate building a brand new stadium.
Reusing what's already there and minimising waste. But a new stadium could be built with sustainability at its core, incorporating the latest green technologies. The choice isn't easy.
But just don't know. Don't know, is that the future? I think if they did build a new stadium, they would have to keep Old Trafford as well, the original one as well, and use it for the juniors, you know, the under-21s. Can they afford to do that, keep two grounds going? They'd have to reduce the capacity. How would they do that? There's so much history there. And, you know, I know it's been rebuilt so many times, because the only original piece of the 1910 Old Trafford is the old Players' Tunnel. That's the only original piece that's there. So what would they do with that? You can't knock that down, can you?
No.
People and everything.
And remember when we visited, we were up in Manchester, and they were going to redevelop the ground.
Yep.
And we went to the ground and drove round underneath the 4 floodlights.
Yep. When you could do it, yeah.
And well, I thought we were going to be stopped.
Yeah.
But no one stopped us, and we did it.
No, we was lucky that we did it, because you could drive all the way around.
Yeah.
Unit tunnel wasn't there.
Well, it could be done because we actually did it.
Yeah, if you couldn't have done it, then
we wouldn't have done it.
We wouldn't have done it, would we? Yeah. Yeah, we did. So yes, that's what to do that. Brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
These massive floodlights with the pylons.
Yeah.
Incredible, wasn't it? But not anymore. So some big changes.
And not that many people would have done that.
No.
But we did.
Yeah, we did. We did. So, but you can't, like, you know, look at the ground now. You can't drive around any of it.
No.
The only time you get drive is going into a car park.
Mm.
So there is no point where there's a road to go round.
No.
The ground now. So you can't even go across the front. You know, on the forecourt in front of the mega store and that. So they've blocked all that off now as well. So where we used to come in, so you're driving down the Chester Road, and then you can see the floodlights, and then you can see Lou Macari's chip shop, and there's like a little souvenir shop there as well, and a couple of other ones there, and then and then you can turn down, then by some at Busby Way now, isn't it? So,
but they're part of the history of the club, aren't they?
Yeah.
Up that road and driving to the stadium.
Yeah. Macari's chip shop.
Macari's chip shop.
Iconic teams like the Great Busby Babes, the 1968 European Cup winners and 1985 FA Cup winners use the dressing rooms here. But let me take you through here now, because something that not many people know is that the tunnel that the players use at Old Trafford today isn't the original tunnel. This was it, and not many people get to see this. It is now filled with a timeline of photographs of iconic moments in history that Manchester United went through. Some of the highs and also some of the lows, including the Munich air disaster as well. You can see all those photographs along the walls. And this is the only original part of the 1920 stadium that survived after the World War II bombings. And if I take you out here towards the pitch, the entrance is marked by a centenary stamp, and below it is a time capsule, which inside is filled with some special memorabilia.
Munich tunnel that's been built now. I know you can move things, that's fine, but it just means so much, and the statues and everything, they can be moved obviously, but Stretford End, all the history going to the games.
No, but if I was voting on it, stay put.
Yeah. One of the other recent things as well is obviously me and Georgia and Alex, we're on the wall at me in the Stretford End, so they can't knock it down.
No.
I'm going to, if they do, I'm going to stand in front of the bulldozer. Well, not stand, but sit and protest. Me, Alex, and Georgia.
Good. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, well, at home with a cup of tea and a biscuit. Yeah, I don't know. When you look at the pictures and you talk about it, and you just think, oh, can it go?
No.
I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see this questionnaire, see what they're saying. So we've got a few little tickets and that as well. I'll put pictures up for you as well from the early 80s. We even got this one. This wasn't mine, but it's a league match ticket. So you used to have to get the token, remember the tokens? And then people had this. This was a Stretford ground side. 1991, £108. That would have been quite expensive at the time. And you had to show that, but with the voucher for the match voucher as well. Nothing happens. They don't do it anymore, do they? Paper tickets. You can't beat a paper ticket. These are my favourite ones, like from the first sort of season we went, second season. Sharp Electronics. That's the ticket, isn't it? That's the ticket. Still got the counterfoil thing on it. Because we used to go through the staff door, they'd never rip it off, would they?
That's right.
Because you didn't go through the turnstiles, so.
So people collect these tickets, don't they?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Oh, people like you, yeah.
Yeah.
Sad people like you.
Yeah. So every game we've been to, I've still got the ticket.
Mind you, when I was a kid, I used to...
Don't start.
I collected bus tickets, so how sad is that?
You can keep the bus... What? You collect bus tickets for?
It's the thing to do. I collected everything. You name it, I collected.
What do you do? You get the bus into the town centre and you kept the ticket? All these bus tickets like from London,
and there were rare numbers in the... You know, there used to be a bus conductor. You say how much threatens. You pick the threatens. They had a machine here, turn like that.
Yeah.
And the ticket would come out. And there were certain numbers that were rare numbers.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Rare numbers? The bus ticket?
Yeah, you collected them.
Really?
Bus tickets. Just take my word for it.
I know you used to spot the trains and write the thingy down. But that's a different thing, I think, than a bus ticket.
Train spotting.
Yeah, I think that's...
Bird spotting.
Yeah, but that's...
Yeah, that changed to something else as I got older, yeah.
Yeah.
But we used to... But train spotting, do I say train spotting?
Yeah, you done that. Yeah, trains. I can understand that because they were proper, trains in days, weren't they? steam trains, you know, like the rocket and stuff like that. Going on.
Coins, football
don't
coins.
Start on the coins and the
Cards, football cards, football programs, football rosettes. You name it.
We know, the viewers know all about that, because it's in the suitcase, excuse my French. Giving it away for next to nothing. Terrible, terrible. But I can't believe you used to bus tickets. What's going on? Bus tickets. On the buses. Yeah, I'll get you, Butler. So
I'll just see if anybody else.
Oh God, here we go. Here we go. So while he's doing whatever he's doing, if you want to know about the men who made Manchester United, you've got to read this book. So the men who made Manchester United, the untold story, and it's by a chap called Harry Robinson. Does a bit of work for MUTV now. Really good. He's done a bit of a podcast on about it as well, which are really, really good. And he's talking about the main men. There's some of the ones I've talked about: Billy Meredith, John Henry Davis, Ernest Magnell, Louis Rocca is a really good one to do it. Charlie Roberts. Yeah, you've got to read it. It's absolutely brilliant. So, Walter Crickman as well. He had a massive role in United. So yeah, a must read for any Manchester United fan. Gary Neville. That's what he said. Yeah, you got to get that. I'll put a picture up in detail so you can see what that's all about. It's yeah. So what are you trying to find then? Bus tickets.
Bus ticket collectors. Carry on.
Bus ticket collectors. Yeah.
If anybody out there is old enough to remember people who collected bus tickets, please leave a comment, because it's interesting.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't get that one, the bus tickets. I really don't get that one. So then, that's it really.
Yeah.
So we'll see this questionnaire, see what that comes of that from the club. Will they listen to the fans? Have they made their mind up already? Who knows? I don't know. But for me,
it'll boil down to whatever produces the most money.
That's the problem. That's the problem, isn't it? But the other thing as well is naming rights for the stadium as well. There's talk about them selling the naming rights for the stadium. They reckon it can pay for some of the regeneration, like $500 million or something like that, for someone to come in. Say like the Snapdragon Stadium, for instance.
They can't. It's Old Trafford.
Old Trafford, yeah, exactly. What about something? They still keep Old Trafford, but Snapdragon's put on the end or something. I don't know. But if they're getting $500 million for the stadium regeneration, I don't know. But it's Old Trafford; it can't be taken away, can it? No, it's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. We shall see. What I'll do is as well, obviously, talked a bit about the history and what have you. I'll do a little bit of a short sort of video. There's some of the pictures of the timeline of Old Trafford, so you can see the changes through time of Old Trafford.
crowd's always brilliant. Here it is, really. It's amazing. I just can't ever visualise it not being a theatre of dreams for any player.
By the early 50s, a roof was finally restored to the main stand, as it was called then, and Jack remembers the day when flamboyant chairman James Gibson ordered his job man to use his shotgun.
Well, they were worried about the pigeons roosting under the stand, and the chairman must have got the idea that he'd help them on their way, and he sent Silver and his odd job man and chauffeur down and with his rifle and shooting. Because I remember I had a shot with it. It shifted the pigeons, I think, for a good time anyway, but didn't help the spectators when it rained.
I find it really interesting. Not everybody does, but I think it's very, very interesting. So,
well, anything connected with United.
Yeah, and any pictures, like I've got different things as well about like different side of Old Trafford. Some ones you don't see all the time. I mentioned that at the start, and I'll do that as well. I think that's quite good, really. It might spark a bit of memory for certain people and that as well.
I was born to be united. Daddy told me when I was just a baby. When I was 5, I went down the Warwick Road. Now I'm addicted, the only place I'll go. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong, to Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. All my memories, Bobby Charlton, Chucky Bass and Cantona, they came to us from heaven. And in the new camp in 1999, on my Busby's birthday, oh, it was party time. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong, to Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. I watch the Reds, I feel the noise, I cry.
pleasant game. Played in the sun, played in the rain, and the team that gets me excited, Manchester United. Manchester, Manchester United. A bunch of bouncing Busby babes, they deserve to be knighted. If ever they're playing in your town, you must get to that football ground. Take a lesson, come to see football taught by Matt Busby and Manchester. Manchester United, a bunch of bouncing Busby babes, they deserve to be knighted.
I remember you said about one game, the white picket fence. That was another thing, wasn't it? Old Trafford, you remember that one when you're watching the games?
Yeah.
All the way around the ground.
You always knew where the clip on
Match of the Day.
Well, before Match of the Day.
Yes, yeah.
They used to do newsreel clips and
Oh, yeah, the Pathé News and something like that, was it?
Yeah, and you know, there's a clip of the football, and you identify Old Trafford straight away.
Because of the picket fence.
This white picket fence around the ground.
The star clash of the fifth round opens as the United in dark shirts match youth in the shape of Birch number 10 and Burkitt against the experience of the Gunners' defence. And it's all Manchester with goalie Platt pretty busy. But here's Jimmy Logie after the ball. Chilton beats him and passes to Rowley. Rowley lobs into the Arsenal penalty area. Aston worries Compton. The ball goes to Pearson and it's a goal. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Arsenal attacks are crumbling before first-time tackles. The United's young forwards, on the other hand, are playing like veterans. Birch gets the ball and passes. Rowley beats Barnes and sends over a centre right across the goal. Birch is there. He beats two defenders and passes. Aston shoots, but Barnes' fly kicks off the line and Manchester appeal, but it's no goal. Second half, and young Burkitt's in a tussle with Joe Mercer, and veteran Arsenal skipper gives him a lesson. Here's a chance, but Chilton beats Goring and passes to goalie Allen to clear. Arsenal just can't get a shot at goal. Pearson's goal is going to put them out of the cup. Burkitt's final shot goes wide and it's all over. Old Trafford roars as the...
And I remember some of the ones from the early 70s, and they got the Stretford end, but the bit behind the goal wasn't used, and there were like all these sandbags. Remember that? I think some of like Bestie's goals we've seen, they've had like sandbags in the centre part of the Stretford end. It was being, I don't know what was going on, but it looked a bit strange, but yeah, it wasn't being occupied. So.
Tommy Taylor's header, George Best!
And then times when they played when the Stretford end is gone and they put a new one in, but they played with just a big board, weren't they? Playing against that. One other thing I just remembered as well, Wilf McGuinness, right? There's a little clip, I'll put this video up, this is absolutely brilliant. Wolf McGuinness was interviewed. He's actually at the back of the Stretford end, and he's talking about how he used to train and kicking the ball up against the Stretford end that Jimmy Murphy got him to do, and he forgot about him, and he was there for hours. But then he said about the area behind the old Stretford end was like this rough gravel stuff, and they used to train on there, and Jimmy Murphy used to use it to toughen them up, get stuck in and get them, knock them down and whatever. He talks about that.
This area was where we used to play five-a-side. There was a wall there going right across, and I used to keep the ball up against this wall. That was part of my training, just banging this wall here, the same, well, they have new brick, but this was the area we used to play in. It used to be sort of cinders and a bit of grass up there, the wall, and we used to kick 10 bells out of each other.
He also said about when he was a kid, he used to go to Watch United, and in the local paper there used to be a competition. They'd have a picture of a stand and if you had your face circled, you'd win a prize, some whatever it was, so many shilling or whatever it was. And one of the games, it was Wilf McGuinness.
Was there?
Yeah, he was in their circle, so I'll put that up as well.
In January 1951, a photograph in the local newspaper captured the family atmosphere before the FA Cup tie with Leeds United. Remarkably, it also captured a young fan who soon became a Busby babe, and later the manager of Manchester United.
They didn't know I was going to be a player. I didn't know I was going to be a player here, but in the local paper, I was circled, and anybody who got the picture circled in the evening paper was entitled to 5 shillings, which was, what, 25p. It was picket fencing right the way round. And the crowd used to allow the little ones to the front, and I was a little one. This was when I was 11 and 12. So I won 25p through getting my face circled, watching Manchester United beat Leeds in a cup tie.
I think he said when it was like equivalent of like 25p or something like that, I think he said. So what was that, 5 shilling or something? Or something like that, wasn't it? So, and that would have obviously that would have been early 50s that was doing. That's funny, that, isn't it? The next, you know, Busby Bay manager as well, Wilf McGuinness, and he's in the programme or the newspaper. So yeah, funny. But yeah, we want to leave it there then.
Yeah, that's about it. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. That'd be great.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
So yeah, all the best. Take it easy. So it's goodbye for me.
It's a good night for him, and see you next time.
Yeah. Stay safe. United.
I was born to be united. Daddy told me when I was just a baby. When I was 5, I went down the Warwick Road. Now I'm addicted, the only place I'll go. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong. To Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. All my memories, Bobby Charlton, Chucky Bass and Cantona, they came to us from heaven. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong. To Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. I watch the red soft in the noise, the crowd is roaring. The Stratford is singing and the fans are going wild. And when I'm gone, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong. To Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. Take me home, United Road, to the place I belong. To Old Trafford, to see United. Take me home, United Road. Take me home, United Road. Take me home, United
Now football is a pleasant game, played in the sun, played in the rain, and the team that gets me excited, Manchester United, Manchester United.